Bam!
I knew it.
Somebody around the world in the chat asking, where's Mirko? Maybe that's what he was talking about.
Yeah,
The import from Indonesia. Again, Aura is one of the sister companies.
He's here in the playoffs,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He's from Indonesia, right?
Yeah, and he cheered louder.
Louder.
He did.
For everyone to hear. Now, going back on the draft is tied 1-1. It's game number 3. Echo still decides to be on the blue side, and their priority pick here is the Joy, stolen from RSG Slate Philippines.
Very good pickup there for RSG. I'd want to see them pick up the Valentina for themselves this time around. But again, don't know where this Joy will go. Most likely it will go into the XP lane, though. In terms of the records that Echo has with Joy, it almost always goes into the hands of Sanford. However, it has been played once or twice by Carl TZ as well, so it is a very flex option. Valentina might be the pickup here for RSG alongside the glue. If they're not feeling the glue right now, Arlott is available for the taking. They could go Arlott, Valentina. Those sound like very good picks, or they can even get the Franco right away because Yaoi can pick it up for himself.
Yep, makes total sense. But right now in the first 3 bans, there's no Kadita being banned out. So yes, right on point. The Arlott here being taken away by RSG. Back in the game, Franco
so
for
quick.
Yaoi.
Yeah.
We're not wasting any second.
You pick it up right away, and they go for the
And I was thinking that why don't they ban it? Well, I will take it.
Okay, I like it.
Sanji.
Just right away, quickly take these. I would say these are also comfort picks in a way, but yeah, I love the fact that now you have this Kadita, who we've seen just work so well for Echo in the past, you know, for multiple of their matches. So I'm wondering, yeah, what is the response from RSG this time? With this Arlott, I do say if you take a glimpse of yesterday's performances so far with Navs, it's something that they really want to lock down on. The way that Echo approaches that, that's up to them, how they deal with it, but they're going to definitely have to keep Navs under control here. Last pick, though, for the first phase. Let's see, do they actually opt for that gold lane option? Do they go for the roam here? And there it is, the roam option, the Kufra.
It's game number 1.
I was thinking about the Kufra, but I thought that RSG would just pick their roamer later. I was in the cap of thinking that it would be a gold lane pickup and just leverage that. They can still leverage it. And I think RSG just decided to pick the Kufra as safety, something to block the dashes that Joy can bring out. But the thing is, in terms of Kufra going up against a Kadita and a Franco, unless the Kufra lands the combo right on, he's going to get counter-punished. Because if he misses it, he'll get pit down, he'll get bursted on, and the rest of RSG will go forward.
Again.
Echo will go forward. And by the way, I'm surprised, but it makes a lot of sense as to why RSG banned out the Mincetar this time around, is that the presence of the Kadita will be felt quicker than the presence of a Kagura. So earlier, right, the problem was it took time for Echo to be able to deal enough damage. The Kadita changes that. Hence why RSG said, I feel like this is looking like a Mincetar game again for Benny Cutie. Let's just take it out to be safe.
Yeah, it's all about how they wanted to have this gambit against Coach Panda and how they wanted to brew this draft. It's a double M ban here. The Melissa finally being banned out, and from all of our matches that we witnessed today, this hero was floating, and most of it has a highest win rate. And now they're evening up the odds here. No glue. Nat's banned it out for himself. Is this a setup for a different? Is this a setup for the Lapu Lapu this time?
It feels more like a setup for he might actually even go tanks a lot here. Oh wait, no, sorry, the Lancelot is banned now. So yeah, the Lapu Lapu makes sense. Unless are they thinking Paquito? Maybe?
Oh, that's a possibility. Nat's used it as well.
Yeah, but no, even potentially in the jungle. But junglers, Martis still up. Tanky ones, a lot of them off the board. See what they go for. Still a carry. Okay, so that's why they pick up the Kufa. They decide to pick up the carry instead. Oh. So Martis there for Echo. What's the marksman? Is it a Brody? It's a lot of dive on the side of RSG. A stun would be very helpful.
Yeah, I feel like Brody.
Yeah.
Good option. But it's not going to be. Instead, it's going to go with Benny Cutie is going to go with the Beatrix.
Yeah, they were also still lacking wave clear, so they needed to pick up the Beatrix for the wave clear.
Yep. This is a more balanced Echo that we see, but that they've stolen some of the picks here, signature picks here from RSG. So right now, Redmar's talking about how a good stun would be very, very helpful for RSG's lineup here.
Well, let's think. Is this jungle options for them? What are we thinking? RSG. There it is. It's actually going to be a Grok.
Okay. Jungle Grok.
Wait. A gold.
Yeah,
okay.
they'll switch it around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I was going to say, in terms of like, okay, looking at the lineup here for RSG, they have great CC potential, but like the damage, obviously, you need it to be there from the Valentine and the carry.
Yeah, but a Grok against a Martis, though.
That's iffy. I mean, both of them have the ability to remove control, and you can just charge. But I'm just gonna boil it down to it'll go down to the timing of Irad to make this Grok work. But I feel like they ended up picking something that was just like one of the last best options.
They didn't. Yeah, it's like, well, we're kind of in a corner right now. Let's just pick the Grok.
Yeah, because in terms of like who was way more useful, in terms of the final picture of the draft, the Martis does it really well. Because at least the Martis will be the killer, the Reaper, the finisher, with a chain of decimations if he can get that.
Yeah.
While Grok, it's just they have a lot of setup, sustainability-ish, but in the damage department, Echo triumphs there. But if RSG just plays it right, they provided a lot of space for Eman. That's the plus for the lineup of RSG. There's so much peel and frontliners for Eman to work off of, and this is what RSG likes to do.
Wow.
Okay, RSG with an early leash there for Irad and the young goat, Carl Teasy, showing off on our screens here. Meanwhile, up top, Sanford and Nats. Almost low HP for these XP laners. Still Echo gaining control of the river, and they want to get this Lethal Wanderer in for this one. But so far, it's 3 members here for RSG holding this area. But who gets it? It's... Okay, it's... Exort for that one.
Yeah, I think even for this, right, for Irad to make this Grok work, he's got to expect this from Carl Teasy, right? At least pretty much kind of shoving Carl Teasy into the jungle of Irad, kind of forcing those skirmishes, those situations that are uncomfortable for him. So Irad really, at the end of the day, has to just kind of plan himself there for those objectives. That's exactly what his kind of job to do, and then just go in for that wild charge, even a Hail Mary, right? That might be him and Light really kind of setting the pace for those team fights. Whereas, yeah, like you mentioned, Redmar, Decimate City might be a problem for RSG to be in.
Yeah, because RSG they drafted their lineup eventually to just make it shine for Eman. Echo's lineup can rotate frequently at just 2. They can send multiple different members of 2 players to just get kills all around the map.
No, well, right now,
Speaking of which,
Turtle has spawned here. 2 versus 1 on the top side. Nav still doing work so far. Sanji not going to be able to get the rough waves the way he wants to. Irad, though, able to steal the Turtle away. Now running for the hills here. Does not have the wild charge available. Going to be waiting for the team. There's a lockdown, though. Light comes in. Nice rage setup with a Tyrant's Rage. First blood. Go in the hands of Naz. Sanford will grab a kill, but it's double for Naz. Still working. Not going to be able to survive that one. And Sanford will fall as well. It's a trade for both teams here.
Part of me was actually surprised that the members of Echo decided to chase down Irad, because when I saw Irad running away with the buff, I was like, are you guys really going to chase him? Because RSG's right there, and they will counter-punish you, and that's exactly what happened. 2 kills there for Nats, but it's still close enough that it wasn't a major blunder there by Echo. Just boiled down to RSG read the situation really well and made the right call to help out Irad there.
yeah, because we were talking about how Echo could respawn early and faster, so RSG's using that potential to utilize on who is going to take the bait first. So those moments that they can use delays Echo's progress to get proper items in. But most of the time, it's the reinforcement and the rotation of Nats aiding everybody on the map, which is very, very important to aid those missing damages as of this point in time in the game.
See there, Corrosion Scythe already picked up by Eman. One item down for the
Bottom
marksman
lane.
of RSG. A lot of bodies here down in the bottom. They'll be able to find anyone though, but just Echo getting a little bit more forward vision, preparing for the turtle spawning in 22.
Okay, seems like they're eyeing on pressuring Light and Eman down bottom. Oh, Sanford almost took a hit down there. But now 10 seconds for the second turtle, and Echo is setting up a one-way to control the river. Meanwhile, Irad and Light is here as well to contest this one.
Yeah, Echo will be able to start this. Tyrant's Revenge is still on cooldown. Yaoi goes in.
Now we go in with the Flicker Bloody Hunt combo. Sanji making quick work of Irad. That's going to be an easy turtle now for Echo to go ahead and secure. RSG just getting some vision there. Don't want to commit to anything. And so that is a showing of just how bursty they can be. A hook going to land from Yaoi, but Exort going to be just fine there. Once again, you know, Echo showing that they have the tools they need to pick people off.
Yeah, speaking of tools, there's a lot of knockups here Sanji's been doing and aiding Yaoi in getting those pickoffs well. And now the answer is the items would really be in time for Benicuti to work for, because that's the damage they need. With those kind of deadly pickups that they can do, they could freely go around and be aggressive on the map of RSG.
Yeah, and you see it here. 3-man versus 1. Nav's down.
Oh, Nav's going to be just fine for now. Exort there, join him. Navs will fall, even with the tenacity. Yaoi, though, will go down to the turret. Exort able to get that kill, but Tier 1 will fall. Meanwhile, on the top side, it's a 2 versus 1 here as well. Sanford going to be just fine, though. Emon trying to run. Vengeance used as well. Emon on the run. Carl TZ looking for a sandwich play here. Looking to get that Decimate off, but might not be able to find it just yet. Decides to just go ahead and take some resources.
All right, so mirror rotations by both teams. Both XP laners were the top.
Up, find that burst, especially early on.
Yeah, and I just want to point out something in the bottom lane. Yaoi getting taken down by the turret. It looked like it was intended, because it really looks like he just took the last 2-3 hits of the turret so that they can secure the break in the bottom lane.
Yeah.
Because he knows that, well, with the last minion down, at least there will be a 2-3 second window where even without a minion, the turrets are still vulnerable to damage. So he just decided, okay, I'm going to go down here. We took down Nafs anyway. It's going to be a good trade. Roamer 4, XP laner of RSG, plus the turret of RSG. Little things like that are what makes me nerd out about our beautiful sport.
Yeah, amazing, right? It's all about the give and take, but Echo wants to take more up against RSG. So those objectives that they can really have a good trade for is what keeps them going, and how deadly that this lineup can be is the one that RSG needs to be aware of, that the mid-game and late-game potential that they can stop. So as of now, they're all over the place, and Echo is just picking them off one by one, and Sanji taking one under their first mid lane turret. That's just purely damage.
And this is that slow kind of momentum that is building for Echo, which they've done, you know, in even on the world stage. This is kind of a similar lineup to where they found a lot of successes, and the Kadita was a lot of an integral part of their success too. And they know how to execute it well. So if you're RSG, you got to say, well, okay, how do we counterplay that? And sometimes when it's a Kadita you're dealing with, especially with this kind of lead already, it's tough to answer that, right? And you kind of are forced to either play very defensively and not make those kind of moments, especially around these objectives. Now that we get to the last turtle of the game, you're constantly worried about the Kadita. But if you can actually survive that, and the Petrify is not there, the burst isn't there, then you can find that upper hand you're looking for. You know, they're not down too far from here, but it might even be better if RSG is like, you know what, let's just give up this turtle. We don't want to risk anything else, losing more and giving that momentum to Echo.
Yeah, and that's exactly the play here for RSG. Well, here comes a concealed play by Yaoi just to find information. A free one for Echo. They play it safe. You see here, RSG have adjusted their priorities. It's now help Emon, but Sanford finds him.
Already, look at that, Emon. Just getting whittled down. Sanford didn't have to do much there. So now Emon down. Echo making their way top side. Benny Cutie also around the orange buff. Another lockdown. Erad will fall. And this is exactly what I was talking about. The momentum full force now for Echo.
And they spotted more than one member away or out of RSG in their own camp. Just the damage department right now is really showing for Echo, and they're taking this first turret of RSG, and up top is one for the cleanup.
Great calls across the map there for Echo. You see here, RSG, you pose the question, what do they need to do to find their bearings? It seems like they're still looking for it. They're struggling right now. That felt like a bit of an overzealous commitment to just try and clear minion waves and get farm for Emon up top. He knew Sanford was there, but, well, with the ultimate up for Sanford, the vengeance as well, heck yeah, that carry is going to bite the bullet there. So now it's a 4K goal lead that has ballooned. It's now just bide time for Emon, which is exactly what we pointed out during the draft, that at this point it's just a lineup built for Emon. Will Echo give RSG the time for the carry to catch up? That was the big question. It's a two-level gap, and Benny QT already has a Malefic Roar on him.
Yeah, and as you guys mentioned, it's most likely this is the invade composition of RSG. With all the invade stuff happening, how would you evade a burst from Sanji and the entrance of Sanford? So with this, a catch from Light would really mean something here, even a bump for the wild shards of Erad. Because again, Nats has a changing final slash. All they need to do is possibly utilize those team fights and have a good way to divide them, but I think that might not happen. Emon
in a sticky situation, not going to be able to get away from it, so a bunch of firepower has now been lost for the Raiders, and they know it. And they're going to have to give up the first Lord of the game, plus some space around the map to work with. RSG struggling here. Very questionable positioning from Emon, not expecting Echo to be where they were exactly.
Sharp, very sharp response there by Echo for big miscalculation there by RSG. Let's see what they can do to recover. At this point, they're just getting outplayed. It is one of the games where I could say it is an outdraft. Even worse so is that they were outplayed. Decision-making, execution, the timings, most importantly, of their rotations and engagements. Echo here have punished RSG after RSG kept it somewhat close in the early game. Looked like it could have been anyone's game, but Echo, once they found an opening, RSG have just crumbled and still trying to find those bearings.
Well, if that bearing needs to be on the right gear here, RSG would need to see someone out in the open.
Gonna get the hook.
Okay.
Control
Position revealed.
On the Grok.
Yeah, gonna be just fine. They're gonna make quick work of this Lord. Again, it's only the first one of the game, so expected that RSG shouldn't lose any of these inhibitor turrets. But Light will go in, finds the rage setup he was looking for. Do they have the damage? The lockdown was there on Emon. Can't survive it though, and now they're being unleashed on. 2 do fall for Echo. Benny Cutie still alive. It's a 2 for 2. So Light with a play there, found a setup. And right now, RSG still in the game despite the massive lead from Echo.
Light, that was beautiful. That was one of the most beautiful Flaker Tyrant's revenge into rages I have ever seen. It's like that is familiarity and understanding, knowing because of the vision provided earlier, that was just a massive estimation that was perfect. Familiarity against your opponents. One of the plays of the playoffs, biggest plays of the playoffs so far by Light. It helped RSG survive another day.
Veterancy is also showing here in all of the members of RSG, and those in those kinds of specific team fights, you might need to make a winning play for your team to get back on their feet. So now they might see some angles, and those winning moments that even Light can do again and again could change things around no matter how the lead Echo is going for. But the problem is, will the damage make it through Echo's defense as they build up with this kind of lead? 8.1k, and they're on the base to clear some minions and the waves to even go out of their base to hunt more of Echo's members.
So look at the items. You see they're still catching up. Almost a 3,000 gold lead. Just a golden staff. Demon Hunter Sword in the corrosion side for M, and he still needs a bit more. It's going to take a lot of time. What we saw there, if Light does get the pick off of you as you put OSX, and as we saw, here comes RSG with an attempt.
Conceal play going to be used here. Light charging up, but they also know that base is going to be pushed in bottom side from the work of Sanford. Once again, RSG has to decide, do we actually want to fight this? Do we want to back off? And it looks like they're going to take the latter. Lord secured here by Echo as RSG gets prepped up again for a defense.
I think that was one wise move of RSG to do, because with this kind of thing, and you're up against Echo, you know somebody might do a split.
Yep.
Either one of them could do it. So maybe the mindset of Exort right there is just to be in the base to hold someone off, and they're respecting the fact that, hey, one of us could be in the spot here for being taken out, and this point of the game as well. So now they're on a defense again, and possibly they could call in a possible reset. But now Echo here sees more than that. They want to seal this game as early as possible. But again, the threat here of Light is vital for RSG and for their setups as well.
Yeah, can they pull off another miraculous defense? Almost 10,000 already is the gold lead here of Echo. It will take close to a miracle. Maybe a miracle set. A miracle find for RSG to hold on another day.
Okay, they commit a little bit here to Yawi. He's going to have to use the Bloody Hunt. The Wild Charge comes out too. Sanji will fall, still going to be going for it. It's Naz that fell as well, and now into the base Carl TZ goes. Meanwhile, Lord has made its way in the bottom side of the base. RSG, can they hold on a little bit longer? They've got to take down the Lord here. Crystal going to be worked on, taking a couple hits. Erad running. It looks very bleak, but it's a mega kill so far. Emmon still alive, clear the way. The hook will land. He purifies out of it, and that's going to be it. It looks like triple kill for the Storm Benny Cutie as Echo takes game 3.
Echo, my goodness. A decimation of RSG in this crucial